Hi, welcome to this video. My name is Kylie and we're going to be talking about Naples yellow. Naples yellow is probably one of my favorite colors to add to my palette. I would say I use it almost as much as I use titanium white. The reason is that I find it to be a very useful alternative to titanium white, and you'll see that when we lighten alizarin crimson with titanium white, it turns into a nice magenta color. And sometimes you aren't trying to do that. Sometimes it looks really nice, but with the cadmium red, it becomes especially apparent because cadmium red is such a warm, vibrant red, and the titanium white just zaps all of that warmth away from it. And you'll see in a second when we mix these reds with Naples yellow, it greatly preserves the warmth in the reds and still does a good job of lightening it, which is very useful for highlights, or if you're painting drapery or something and you need a bright spot on a red cloth or something, it does help to have Naples yellow there. You could also use any yellow really and mix it with white, but since I have Naples yellow, I use that. I actually really like how just alizarin crimson and Naples yellow looks together as a color by itself, honestly. I think it adds a lot of diversity to just the colors that you can mix with having this color. And here's a close-up of it so that you can see the differences in the tones. Naples yellow is also, I guess, obviously a good alternative to titanium white when you're working with yellows. I personally haven't had a problem with losing vibrancy, lightening yellows with titanium white, but if you're more cautious about that, Naples yellow does the trick pretty well. With this brand, it didn't really work with the lemony yellow that we have, but it did a really good job of matching the hue of the yellow oxide that I was using. And I think a huge thing to consider is the brand that you buy colors in, because the brand can make such a huge difference in terms of tonality and hue. Since I've been talking so much about how Naples yellow is a good alternative to titanium white in certain situations, I'm going to be demonstrating highlighting with titanium white versus highlighting with Naples yellow. And the one on the left is where I used titanium white, and I did go overboard, but I mean, it's really hard not to go overboard when you're not really committed to the piece. I mean, this is just a sketch, so I wasn't being really careful, and it's not the best demonstration, I'll be honest, but you can see that the Naples yellow does a better job of not going overboard, even though I'm going overboard with the strokes. It melds better with the skin tones of this portrait, and sometimes you'll want a cooler colored light, but I guess personally I like using warmer highlights on my portraits because the pieces that I make are often more warm toned, and for someone who's maybe looking into trying out more warm tones, I think Naples yellow is a good idea to test out. Now here are a few colors that I like to mix Naples yellow into. The first one is a kind of muted minty color. It's phthalo blue with Naples yellow and a lot of titanium white. I use this one a lot for the irises of some of the characters that I paint. It's a very vibrant color when you put it in the context of an eye, and I think it's a really great color for when you're painting someone with blue, green, or even gray eyes. I also like to mix Naples yellow with burnt sienna. It does pretty well as a warm shadow on portraits and hair color. I already did say that I like mixing Naples yellow with alizarin crimson, and I actually use it a lot in my portraits as well, especially where some of the skin is backlit. And I know most of this video was comparing and contrasting Naples yellow and titanium white, but they actually make a good team. Sometimes Naples yellow isn't light enough for what you want to accomplish, and mixing it with titanium white does the job even better than just Naples yellow sometimes. And the last color that I want to show you guys is basically the third color just with titanium white. So Naples yellow, alizarin crimson, and titanium white. It's a really nice pink. I don't really have a use for it in the subject matter that I paint, but it's really nice and I thought I'd feature it anyway. And that is everything that I want to say about Naples yellow, one of my favorite colors, and hopefully maybe you decide to add it to your palette and give it a try. And thanks for watching!